Day 31 of 365 days of meditation. Today I went back and redid the guided meditation that I did yesterday, mostly because I wanted to contrast the experience of yesterday and getting interrupted near the end of the meditation to just doing it all the way through without interruption, and just sort of compare the two experiences. Interestingly enough, I would say there may have been more learned from yesterday's. There probably was more learned from yesterday's than there was today. Today's experience was pretty relaxed. Really just a practice of bringing my focus back into the present. As my mind would wander and just come back for as long as I could hold it, and then mind would wander off and bring it back, and it was just sort of refocusing, a practice of refocusing over and over and over again. And then I did some affirmation work as well near the end, and bit of a gratitude practice, and closed it out. But yeah, for the most part, it was a practice of refocusing my attention. Probably one of my biggest takeaways, which was a reminder of something I experienced in the past when I was meditating daily, is how aware I am of the information that I am absorbing in my day-to-day life. As I observe the things that my mind wanders to in meditation, the more I do it, the more I realize how what I'm experiencing day to day, the information I'm absorbing day to day, is pulling me out of the present. And just as an example, I watched a movie the other day, and I find that I'll actually get my mind will wander off to the movie that I watched. So something as, I guess, I don't know, just sort of insignificant in terms of my day-to-day life as a movie, I can be pulled away from, and that could be also something I read, or it could be something some social media or a conversation I had with somebody. So I'm really just aware of how the events in my day-to-day life, to some extent, are sort of replaying over and over in the background. My subconscious is rehashing these experiences and replaying them, and I'm sort of aware of it in meditation, which brings me to the topic of mental diet, and especially if you're struggling with your mental health, the importance of considering what it is that you watch and how it makes you feel when you watch it, and then asking the question, if we're talking from a media consumption point, do I want to keep watching this type of material if it does not make me feel good? Is it worth consuming? So I guess that was the question that sort of popped up from my meditative practice today. The idea of my mental diet and what is and is not worth consuming in my day-to-day life. So yeah, I'd say that was it. Another thing that seems to be happening, I've noticed today, I don't know how to describe it other than sort of a shift in my mental state, where this desire to reevaluate my own values, my own beliefs, my own perceptions, it seems to be coming to the forefront. And it's almost like today I had this desire to step into an entirely different life. I know that sounds weird. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Just this idea that I looked around the world, and I was watching some YouTube videos about people in Yakutsk in Siberia, and looking at this guy in the hottest place in the world and watching this woman who rides a enduro bike all over the planet by herself, and just people living very, very different lives, and just kind of realizing that I guess there is no one right way to live. There is just a set of experiences that we have in our day-to-day life. And kind of coming to the conclusion that I don't think I'm necessarily optimizing my day-to-day life, in that there is a world that I could step into that would be entirely different, and one that is not congruent with past mental suffering, anguish, dysfunction that I've experienced. And in order to get there, it requires just a certain sort of allowing for my life to unfold before me, and acknowledging the fact that despite every effort up to this point in my life to control outcomes, I really don't have any control over the outcomes, and to just sort of surrender into it and let whatever would be will be. And that's not to say just it's the opposite of, I guess, what I've experienced with mental health challenges, which is just fighting tooth and nail to exist. And this is recognizing that that hasn't worked in the past, and to just let everything go, not knowing what might come next, but that's actually what I want. Because if I don't know what's going to come next, it means it's not going to be the same things that have come in the past, and I don't want more of what's come in the past. I want something different. It's funny trying to articulate this right now. It's challenging. I was trying to articulate it earlier today, and I was struggling just the same. It's almost like there's no words to communicate this sort of really strange sensation and train of thought that's occurring right now. But I recognize it. I feel like I've been here before, not at this exact same point or to the same level, but it feels like something similar to what occurred in the past when I was meditating daily. Only this time I'm excited to keep going. See what happens on the other side, if there is another side. So yeah, that's where we're at on day 31. It's strange. It feels strange even to say it. I had this thought earlier today that as I was walking along, having a conversation with someone about this experience, that if you took me from 3 years ago even, or 4 years ago, and you had them walk beside my present self and the other person, and just listen to the conversation and the things that I was saying, that person that I was 3 years ago would have no idea what the hell I was talking about. They would think that I was weird as hell. They would not be into the conversation at all. And they probably wouldn't like me very much. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Weird thought today. But anyway, that's it for today. It was just a strange day. The meditation was not crazily eventful, but the day itself was just sort of this weird state of in-between, I feel like, right now, where, nothing is super doesn't feel super stable, and I feel like there's really no going back at this point. So, 365 days, 31 down, and oof, no idea what's going to come at the end of this. That's exciting. All right. In closing, if you're struggling with your mental health, if you are ruminating excessively, if you are worrying or catastrophizing, if you are anxious or depressed or suicidal, if you just can't seem to regulate your thoughts and emotional state and it's distressing, talk to somebody, talk to somebody, talk to somebody. It was the first step for me personally towards, I don't know, just a different path, different direction in my life. That feels way, way, way easier. I remember watching people in the past and just wondering how they seemed to go through life so effortlessly. And maybe it wasn't the case that they did. That was just how, I viewed them. But it seemed like comparatively their life was really effortless, just in day-to-day function. And mine was not, and I didn't understand why. And if you are in that place, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody about it. It can be the first step you take towards helping yourself. So, in closing, I guess thanks for watching the video. Take care of yourself, and yeah, have a good night. Have a good day. Bye.